Thank you, Joel. Good afternoon, everybody. It's good to see everyone. Just want to start with a few brief comments just to say how excited we are for our organization and our team today to be able to welcome Frank as our new head coach. You know, when we started this process a matter of days ago, you know, it was important for us to obviously find the right coach for the roster and certainly for the organization. And we feel very, very fortunate and very lucky that a man of Frank's character and a man of Frank's coaching caliber happened to be available as we were looking for a new head coach. We're incredibly excited about Frank. We feel he fits our team to a T. We feel the things he's about as a human being fit our organization to a T. And we really, really feel good about everything Frank's going to be able to bring to this community and to this organization. You know, Frank's track record speaks for itself as far as we're concerned. He's someone who has built a team with defense first and foremost, and he's shown over the years to be able to mold and cultivate and develop players, two very important things to us as we started this search. So we could not be more excited, as I said, and with that I'd like to welcome as the new head coach of the Orlando Magic, Frank Vogel.
Thanks, Rob. I want to start by thanking the DeVos family and Alex Martins and Rob Hennigan for this great opportunity to be the coach of the Orlando Magic. You know, this team and the organization has just a great reputation. I've been an admirer and have great respect for what they've accomplished in the past and what they represent as a franchise. As the process played out, it became very clear to me very early that this is the perfect place for me to continue my basketball journey. And as I looked at the overall situation, it also became clear that it's the right landing spot for my family. So we're very excited to be here. The city of Orlando has so much to offer, and my family and I are very much looking forward to calling ourselves Central Floridians. I want to commend Rob for putting together a heck of a roster. You know, you have a lot of talent with high character, and you know that was one of the biggest attractions to this job for me in wanting to take this job was the young core that he's put together. I think it's a core that also will be attractive to prospective free agents, you know, thinking about coming to play for our team. You know, the future is bright for this group. And in my mind, this team is ready to take the next step. We've got a great young core. We've got cap flexibility to add a key veteran or two or three. And yeah, I think our fans here should be really excited and have real reason to believe that you know we're on the at the beginning of what should be a great era in Magic basketball. We're going to play a similar style of play that we did with Indiana. We're going to have a defensive identity, which worked for us, but we're also going to play a style offensively where we adapt to the way today's NBA game is played on the offensive end. You know, we're going to play with pace. We're going to take advantage of the athleticism we have on this roster, run the floor, and we're also going to space similarly to a lot of the way these teams are playing, in, like I said, in today's NBA. And we're going to win. And we're going to win, and we're going to have fun winning. So I'm excited about this group. I'll open it up for questions now.
If you can wait for a microphone, please. Go ahead, George.
Hi, Coach. George Diaz with the Orlando Sentinel. Specifically, you know, you're obviously enthused about this group. Can you get into some specifics of players and who you like and moving forward?
Yeah, I like all of them. They're my guys now. I like Evan Fournier in the back of the room there. Victor in the building working out when I got here today. You know, I was joking with Victor that you know, we've never really spent a whole lot of time together, but maybe it's the Indiana connection or whatever. We'd always kind of make eye contact during games, and I feel like I've known him for 20 years. You know, we just have I feel like we have good chemistry. You know, I believe in Alfred. You know, I believe in playing with defensive length, you know, which he brings to the table. So establishing our defensive identity, I think he's going to be a big part of. Mario is a guy I was a big fan of in the draft last year. He wasn't available when we chose, but he's a guy that I'm just excited about what he can become. I love his confidence. I love his athleticism, his ability to shoot the ball. I think he fits the way we want to play. Obviously, Vooch is a monster inside. He killed us every time we played these guys. It's really just, you could go on and on down the roster. There's a lot to be excited about with this group, and excited to get started.
Pat Clark from WESH. How might your presence here help in the acquisition of free agents? You touched on it just a little bit. Have you talked with Rob about this, and what limited information you have about Orlando? What do you think the lure to play here might be?
Well, the biggest thing free agents want to hear is, are they going to win? And I believe we are going to win here. We've had some success in Indiana, taking over a team at a similar point in their development that this team is at right now. We just need one or two veterans to come in and just help us get over the hump. But the number one thing a free agent wants to hear is, are we going to win? And the pieces are in place here. We've had regular season success in Indiana. We've had postseason success in Indiana. And with the young core we have in place, I believe that we can take a big step with the right free agents.
Philip Rossman-Reich from Orlando Magic Daily, over here. Yes. You've obviously built a reputation as a defensive coach. Offensively, your Pacers teams, well, they played with some pace. They weren't exactly the fastest in terms of possessions per game. How do your principles though fit into into kind of the versatility and flexibility that you have in the roster, and how you adjust your style to your roster?
Well, every style is dictated on the personnel you have on your roster. And we had some teams that were built around size and strength. So you had to play to that strength, play that style of play. We did pick it up from a pace standpoint dramatically this past season because we changed our personnel a little bit, and there's more of a desire there to do so. I've got a great desire to play up and down, a great desire, and I feel like we have the athleticism and youth to achieve that right away. And as these guys grow, it can get better year after year. But it is predicated on your personnel.
Mike?
Yeah, Coach Mike Bianchi, Orlando Sentinel. Everybody knows it's a star-driven league. Do you think there are guys on this roster who could develop into superstars still? And do you see a potential Paul George on this roster?
I definitely do think there are guys that have the ability to take that next step. And there's a few different ones. So. It's not like we're coming into this situation and you got that one guy. We got to say, oh, that's the guy that's got to carry us. Any of these guys, that I mentioned earlier, have the ability to explode, and take a big jump. So, it's going to be my job to make sure that I'm inspiring them, I'm giving them discipline on the basketball court to win games, and showing them the way.
Frank, John Denton, OrlandoMagic.com. You built your reputation on defense. Do you see the pieces in place to build a similar stingy defense here in Orlando?
Well, you can always add pieces, but I do feel like we have good athleticism and mobility and strength with this roster. I think length is a big factor in being a great defensive team, and we do have that. We have size at the rim. Obviously we're going to look at some other pieces, but I do feel we have the pieces in place right now to be at least a very good defense.
Despina?
Right here, Despina Barton with Bright House Sports Network and News 13. Coach, there were quite a few vacancies right now in the league. You touched on this being the right landing spot for you and your family right now, but can you give us some details of why this was really a selling point and why you wanted to be here?
How long do you have?
All day.
Everything about this job was appealing to me. Starting with the ownership. I've got a lot of coaching friends in the business, in basketball and in other sports that, really just when you talk about choosing jobs, you want to make sure that you have a strong ownership group. And the reputation of the DeVos family is, as good as it gets. So it starts there. I think after that, you have to look at the interpersonal communication and relationships that you're going to have with your front office, the people that you're going to work with. And, Rob and I, from the minute we picked up the phone with each other, I felt like we had a great connection. You know, we have similar backgrounds, both played Division III. We both lived in Boston around the same time. And we have similar leadership styles. We rely on the group, you know, to give great input. We know we don't know it all. We make group decisions, and we study and we work. And we don't take ourselves too seriously. You know, we have sort of a have fun, but work our butts off type of mindset. You know, so from the ownership down to the front office, things look good. The roster, as we talked about before, was very, very attractive to me. Very attractive to me. I really see a lot of similarities to this team that I saw in the team that we took over in Indiana when we had Lance Stevenson, Paul George, Roy Hibbert, you know, still trying to find their way and get over that hump, and you know, became a monster in the East. I see that similarity there. I wanted to make sure my family was comfortable, and you know, my wife and I grew up in the Northeast, but my daughters are sort of small town girls, you know, from the Midwest, and you know, a similar market size here in Orlando than what we had in Indiana was very attractive, you know, to us as well. The weather, state taxes, Disney World, probably at the bottom of the list, but all still factors. But you basically can check off every box, you know, with the pros and cons you're weighing, you know, with this job versus other teams, and you know, I just think it's a great fit for me.
Jamie?
Jamie Say, WKMG here in Orlando. When you took over in Indiana, your success came quite quickly. How quickly do you expect success to happen here in Orlando?
If we don't get a ring this year, then it's a failure. I mean, that's the only way to look at this. Again, we don't take ourselves too seriously here. We're going to win. I mean, it's that simple. We're going to go out, we're going to work our tails off, we're going to instill discipline, we're going to inspire our guys, we're going to develop our young players, we're going to develop our veteran players into being better veterans, and we're going to win games. You know, obviously this group hasn't been to the playoffs, so, you know, if you want to look for a bar of where we're going to set the standard on our goals, we're going to get in the playoffs this year. We're going to start there, but more importantly to me, we've got to build something that we know can win in the playoffs. You know, it's not just about getting there. You know, it's about building the level of offensive sharing and passing, building the defensive toughness where you're going to defend and rebound, and it's going to be hard to score against our team. You know, so that when you get into the playoffs, you have a reasonable expectation that you're going to succeed in the playoffs.
Joe?
Joe Kepner, WFTV. This is actually for Rob. Your relationship with Coach Vogel and how you approach player personnel and the roster, will that be different than the relationship you had with Coach Skiles and Coach Vaughn before that? Are you approaching this one differently?
Yeah, no, it'll be the same, Joe. It'll always be mutuality, right? Making sure that we get in there and we collaborate and we talk about things as a group. We really do believe in sort of the wisdom of multiple viewpoints and opinions. So, you know, that's one of the things that Frank and I talked about at length, was just how to arrive at decisions and making sure that we're focusing all our energy on trying to make the best decision together. So, yeah, it'll stay the same as it's always been.
Adam?
Coach, Adam Shadoff, Fox 35 here. It seems like in the past you've really enjoyed grooming young players, kind of helping them bud into superstars. Is that true, and do you look forward to that here?
Well, any teacher or coach, you know, derives his greatest pleasure in their profession or the process when they see their pupils succeed. So I would say I definitely enjoy that part of the game. I do enjoy the preparation, the strategy, the adjustments, the chess match, and all that stuff. But you know, watching your guys have success, you know, when they've worked really hard for it, connecting with guys, inspiring guys. That's the most rewarding part of any teacher or coach's journey.
Josh?
Josh Robbins, Orlando Sentinel. As quickly as, to your left.
There you are, Josh.
Yeah. As quickly as this process went with the conversation on Sunday, the conversation between you two on Monday, was there enough time to ensure that the two of you are philosophically aligned and temperamentally aligned?
I believe so. You know, it was one of those things that it just, my confidence level picked up speed as the process went along. You know, comfortable in the first 15 minutes, and then once we're an hour into it, really excited, and then once we got 2 hours into it, like feeling like this is the spot for me. It was that quick and accelerated. So and we did talk about everything you can talk about in terms of what our relationship is going to look like, the direction of the team, the style of play, how we execute practices, all those types of things.
I agree with everything Frank just said.
Adam Papagiorgio, Magic Basketball Online. Talk about what the timetable will be now to finalize the assistant coaching staff. What are you looking for in your staff? What type of voices do you want? And between you two Division III guys, who would win a game of one-on-one?
He's 9 years younger than me. 9 years ago, I would have kicked his butt, but he will win today because I won't finish the game. I'll pull a calf muscle or something. The coaching staff is something that is going to take some time to put together. I don't expect to have a big staff, but we're gonna sit together, discuss all the names that I'm interested in, and gather some of his names, and we'll, like everything we're going to do going forward, it'll be a group effort, and we'll choose the people that put us in the best position, to have success. But one thing I would say is that the coaching staff, to me, is the chemistry of your staff is just as important as your chemistry of your team. So as we add guys, we will add the next 2 or 3 guys to complement that first selection.
Mike?
Yeah, for Coach Vogel, when you were an assistant with the Celtics and Rob was playing Division III basketball at Emerson, I believe.
Yes.
Were you guys aware of each other at all back then?
No.
No? You didn't scout him then?
I did not.
I was aware of Frank because he was working for the Celtics. He for sure wasn't aware of me.
Also, Rob, was there any sense of urgency because other teams were looking for coaches, and obviously Coach Vogel was in demand?
There certainly was a sense of urgency, Mike, just because of the way things shook out, and obviously there were other vacancies. So we knew we had to move quickly, and we did move quickly. But when Frank's name obviously was available, and we got to know Frank, it became very obvious for us that we had reason to move as quickly as we did.
Peter Karasotis, Indianapolis Star. Frank, veteran coaches have been through these types of situations before when one organization lets them go for various reasons and then they become the favorite for a new organization. Going through this process for the first time in your young coaching career, and Larry Bird intimated that you were campaigning to keep your job. Can you just share with us what this roller coaster has been like for you?
It's been a really crazy time, to be honest with you. Probably the craziest 2 weeks of my life, just from the emotions of being let go by the Pacers to just figuring out what our next step was, and then the phone was ringing, so that was a good thing. It was a good kind of chaos. There was interest. I enjoyed meeting with some of the other teams that I met with. Ultimately, finding this situation here, with everything aligning to the ways or the things that I was looking for my family, for my career, that part made it an enjoyable time, as opposed to a stressful time. Knowing that the opportunity to or to have a job like this as one of the options, and let's go for that one more than the rest, and then getting it, was a very exciting thing for me, and we're excited to be down here.
Shane?
Shane Whitehead, WFTV. Coach, you said you liked the roster. You mentioned several guys by name. There's a lot of cap space out there. What exactly do you think you need?
Well, we need some tough guys. We need some tough guys that are leaders. And I think, bringing in a guy that has a presence about him that the younger players will respect, both with his presence, his voice, his approach, but also the ability to kick some tail on the court, to deliver on the court. That's the best way to lead. So I think we'd be looking for that, a guy that has that experience, that winning experience, but can lead in the locker room, but with his play as well.
Okay, do we have any final questions? Okay, Despina, or Joe first, then Despina.
Joe Kepner, WFTV. Have you had any conversation with Coach Skiles, or do you anticipate having a conversation with him about whatever his concerns were, and so that you can address and resolve those going forward?
I have not talked to him. I don't plan on talking to him. I believe every situation is different. I've seen a number of relationships not work out, that are completely different than what my relationship would be. I like to make my own judgments on people and situations, and I've done that, in the conversations that we've talked about with all the people in this organization. I feel good about what it looks like and what it's going to be like for us here. So, I don't intend to have any further conversations with Coach.
Coach Vogel, what have the conversations been like with your current players here? I know everybody's kind of scattered all over the place, and what's been your single message? And then also, when do you plan to, I guess, get everybody on board? What's your first installation? What's that first step with everybody here?
Well, in the summer, it's tough because everybody's scattered. I do want to get in front of all of our guys face to face as quickly as possible. Hopefully, most of those meetings can happen here in Orlando. But if I have to travel to see someone, we'll travel to see someone. But the main message is we're going to win. We got the formula, we have the ability, we're ready from a standpoint of our growing pains being behind us. We're going to add a key couple of free agents, and this is going to happen. Be excited about what we're about to embark on.
Anything else? Okay, Orlando Magic CEO Alex Martins will be available to everyone.